Okay, good morning, everybody. Today we are changing it up a tad and we're going to use what we learned and write linear equations, but story problems. Okay, we're going to actually apply them to story problems. Okay, so it says write an equation in slope interform that models this situation. And everybody, please make sure you have your calculators out so you can try these along with me. It says a car rental company charges $120 to rent a car for 3 days. Okay. And $50 or $50, 50 cents per mile. Write the equation of the total cost C. Okay. So normally my equation of the line is y equals mx plus b. Okay. B is usually the starting cost. It's just an amount. It's not anything. It's the starting cost. Okay. So how much does it cost just to get in the car? How much does it cost just to rent out the room? Just how much does it cost? The M is when you see the word per. That means your slope, like how much you make per hour. So this should give you an idea of what the slope is. When you see the word per, think M. Okay, now it's a little tricky because we have $120 and the number 3 for days. Well, that's because it's automatically $120 if you rent it for 3 hours, 2 days, 3 days, 1 day, a day and a half. So that is going to be my starting cost. Okay, then for every additional mile, I go 50 cents per mile. So if all I do is drive to a hotel, it's not that much. Versus if I drive around town, it'll be 50 cents per mile. Now, because it says the cost C, my equation is going to be C equals. Then the one that is the per, 50 cents, remember, and my original starting cost is 120. So the cost equals 50 cents per mile. So I could almost put an M here if I want that, representing miles, or I can leave it as X plus 120. Now down here it says how much will it cost to drive 200 miles? Well, I put 200 in there, so C equals 50 cents per mile for 200 miles plus that original starting cost of $120. Then take your calculator out and I put 50.50 times 200 plus 120, and the total cost is, for that trip, $220 with the dollar sign in the front. Okay? Okay. Next, the charge to have a cell phone for 1 month is $59 plus 15 cents per text. Here's my per number. That's my slope when I see the per. And the starting cost is $59. Write an equation to find the total cost for a cell phone C with X text messages. So cost again is C. So C equals, now my slope is first, that's $15 per text message plus a starting fee of $59. Okay, there's my equation. Now it says, how much will this cost if you have 500 text messages? So I take this and I put it where it represents text messages. So C equals 15 cents per text message times those 500 of them plus my $59 fee per month. And this is the cost per month. So, and then I just put my information in my calculator. You should be doing this too. And how much will it cost? That month it would have cost you $134. Okay. Okay. Hope everything's going well so far. Next, Jed has $120 saved for a new bike. He plans to save an additional $25 per week. I see the word per again. I think that's my slope. Write an equation to find the total amount of money he has saved over TW weeks. So he saved $120 so far, plus $25 per week. T is the total amount. Okay, my slope goes first. That's $25 per week. We don't know how many weeks. And he started with $120. Maybe he got money for his birthday or something. I don't know. Okay, so how much will he have saved in 8 weeks? We put an 8 in there. So the total amount saved is $25 per week for 8 weeks, plus is an original $120 from his birthday money. Then I put this in my calculator and I get a total of $320. Okay, let's see how you're doing. If you have questions, make sure you reach out to me sometime. Okay, Ned wants to buy a car for $3,000. He plans to save $150 per week. Okay, I'm going to underline that in green. Write an equation to find out the amount of money he still needs to save after M weeks. Or save how much he needs to save M after W weeks. Okay, now let's think about this. So I know in my equation, it's $150 per week. Okay, the other two places I'm not sure. Okay, he plans to save $150 per week, but he needs $3,000 for the car. Okay, write an equation to find out the amount of money he still needs to save. Okay, so Ned wants to buy a car for $3,000. He plans to save $150 per week. Write an equation. He did not save anything yet. He needs to save a total of $3,000. Okay, so write an equation to find the amount of money he still needs to save. Well, that would be the equation. How many weeks would it take him? Now I just need to divide. Oops, I divided by 150, and that would now take him 20 weeks to do that if he didn't have anything saved. Okay. Kind of the same thing. You could also think about it this way if you want, because this would be solving for M. But again, think about this. If I rearrange it, it's the same equation I just wrote, but you're really saying I need to end up with $300 and I need to give the dealer or whatever $150 per week. So it's taking it out of that if the $3,000 car is sitting there. So you could write the equation like this, or you could also write it like I did over here. It's up to you. I'll take either way. Okay, now it says using the equation from the previous problem, determine how much Ned will still need to save for 14 weeks. Okay, well, let's just use the equation on the top. It's the same one. So how much money does he still need to save after 14 weeks? And again, this basically means you have a $3,000 car. You're paying that off $150 per week to the dealer. Okay. If after 14 weeks, how much more money is still left to save? So I'm going to do negative 150 times 14. Be careful. Make sure you know where that negative is in your calculator. So negative 150 times 14 plus 3,000. And that still means M is $900. You would still need to pay $900 on that car after 14 weeks. Okay, How many weeks will Ned still need to save? How many weeks will Ned still need to save 1,650? Sorry, guys. After how many weeks will Ned still need to save $1,650? Well, same equation, but this goes in front. And how many weeks is W? Oops. Sorry, that's a 3,000. And then we just solve. So we would minus 3,000. So I have 1,650 minus 3,000, and that gives me negative 1,350. And this is negative 150 times W. It feels weird having negatives, but when I divide both sides by a negative divided by a negative is a positive. W is 9, and that means 9 more weeks before that car would be paid off. Okay, still, there's the equation. What number would you substitute into the equation above in order to determine how long it will take Ned to save $3,000? Well, what number would you substitute into this equation? Think about it. He needs to save $3,000, and it says how many weeks. So to determine how long it will take, how many weeks, so you would need to substitute into M to find out how many weeks. That's basically what it's saying. So if you're trying to find the time, you can't substitute, you're solving for W. If you're finding the amount of money, you're solving for, you're substituting into W and finding for M. Kind of tricky. Okay, let's try another one. A furnace repairman charges $85 to come to your house to repair your furniture, plus $65 per hour. So again, I see the word per. So the repairman charges $85 just to walk in the door, whether it takes him 5 minutes or 5 hours. Then he makes more money at $65 per hour. The total cost C he charges for working H hours. So the cost is equal to, now remember, the per goes here, $65 per hour plus $85 to walk in, just to walk in. So good job. That's not a bad job. Okay, so the repairman sent you a bill for $280. How many hours did he work at your house? So reminder, wait, hold on, I got to double check it's $85 per hour plus $65 just to walk. Nope, I think I flip-flopped these. Yep. Okay, so it's $65 per hour plus $85 to walk in. Okay. If the total bill, the total cost, how many hours we don't know, and now you just solve it. Okay, so minus 85, and hopefully you're getting better at solving equations. So this is 195 equals 65H, and I'm dividing by 65. So divided by 65 gets you, H is 3, which means he was at your house for 3 hours, and that cost you $280. Okay, different type of question. If he worked for 2 hours, how much would he charge you? So now he worked for 2 H's. So you don't know the cost. It's $65 per 2 hours plus $85 to walk in the door. So 65 times 2 plus 85, that would give you, or cost you actually, $215. Okay? Okay. So you have a worksheet. You'll notice on the worksheet, some of the problems are done for you. Some of them you have to do. That was done purposely. Then check your key in Schoology and take the daily formative. Have a great day, and let me know if you have questions.